come in, but it's far too early to say whether or not this was an accident or intentional. But one thing is for sure, it is an incident that they haven't dealt with. Now, from the officials about exactly how large this event is. Now, you have to recognize this is just after 5 a.m. We're talking, so the city, the traffic is going to be greatly impacted. As we were working our way up here, we had roadblock after roadblock just to get to this point, and we're allowed through because we're pressed. But right now, they're trying to really figure out what they're dealing with. I talked to one source here that works in the bridge area, the Maryland transportation area. He said they got the call, they woke up, they've never seen anything like this. So we're a little bit in uncharted territory in terms of just how significant this is. But one thing is for sure, not only will the traffic for the city of Baltimore and people's daily commute be greatly impacted, but the shipping lanes that I described from the Chesapeake Bay to the Patapsco River into Baltimore Harbor are going to be greatly impacted because this is the main thoroughfare that most of the shipping lanes come through. So we're waiting to find out more and get an update exactly on what's going on. But the latest is this is being treated as a mass casualty event, and the current number they believe possibly in the water is 20. I asked how many vehicles may have been lost into the water. They said they don't have an exact count on that. We'll get you more as we get it, as we watch the emergency crews and personnel arriving. Todd and Carly?
And what we're watching right now on our screen is video of the bridge collapsing. It is quite a scene to watch an entire bridge be in existence and then in a mere matter of seconds collapse. We'll get into the traffic ramifications, but let's focus on the mass casualty event aspect of this. And Griff, you have been on countless scenes throughout your career, and you ask the public information officers, the people that can give you information, your sources, you ask them questions and they give you the facts, but there's also a tone associated with their voice, with their overall mood. What is the sense that you are getting from the individuals that you are speaking to about how devastating and how potentially horrific this could be?
That's a great question, Todd. The tone is urgent because this is not something that they've dealt with before, and they know that there is the clock is ticking. Time is of the essence to get into the water. It's cold here. It's in the 30s, and really they don't know exactly where people have gone through. This Francis Scott Key Bridge is a major thoroughfare in and out of the city of Baltimore, and so right now you're getting a lot of the emergency people coming as we were asking where we could go, where we could set up. They're focused not on the press. They're focused on trying to get in here and try and figure out how they can rescue people and to try and assess exactly how significant the threat is. Obviously, it happened at 1:30 in the morning, so it would have been a lesser trafficked time of the day, but yet we know that there are, according to the officials, as many as 20 people in the water in this Patapsco River behind me. Todd?
Yeah, no, Griff, and this cargo ship hit a support beam, the absolute worst possible place for that collision to have happened, and then it all came crumbling down. How does something like this happen? Who or what is to blame for this?
Well, that's the question that obviously we hope to get some answers to, Carly. And I was trying to ask one of the Maryland officials, sources that I spoke to off camera. I said, you know, how could something like this happen? Has it ever happened before? And he said, no, never in my lifetime. And it's unusual because these shipping lanes, you know, these cargo ships know where to go. It's very common all day long. Every day they're doing this. And so it's very much out of the ordinary. This is a Singapore flag ship. That's about all we know about this ship. But the question that we began to ask is, was there a problem with the ship that inadvertently hit that? And why did it occur at the absolute, as you point out, worst location of the bridge to bring it down? You know, as we look down the bridge, we can only see the emergency vehicles, but we can hear the helicopters, multiple helicopters in the air as well, as they try to assess exactly the significant point of which it was breached and brought it down.
Griff, has anybody indicated at all that they might be thinking this was intentional, or is this being considered an accident right now?
Well, I don't know, and we're waiting hopefully to get either Kevin Cartwright, the Baltimore Fire Department, City Fire Department guy we talked to, or someone else on scene. You know, it's one of those things, Carly, where all of these questions are going to eventually be answered, or at least we'll be able to ask some of the authorities. But in this case, I've got 15 or 20 members of the media out here as well. We're responding almost as fast as they are in real time now as emergency vehicles come in, but it's far too early to say whether or not this was an accident or intentional. But one thing is for sure, it is an incident that they haven't dealt with in this area, and the damage is very, very significant to have brought such a large bridge and thoroughfare to an absolute standstill as they're getting these emergency crews in the water with time of the essence to try and rescue whoever's in there.
Right, and we are
Carly?
expecting a briefing between 5:45 and 6:15 this morning, so about potentially less than 30 minutes from now. And of course, you mentioned the criminality possibility, but there also has to be asked the question, how could this have been an accident? I mean, you look at this video, right? The lights are all over this place. You can clearly see there's a bridge there. So then the question becomes, did this vessel potentially have some sort of malfunction that prevented it from stopping? All these questions, I'm sure, will be asked at this press conference.